Ninja Warrior is actually a Japanese show. It's called Sasuke, and it started off as a follow-up to an event on a show called Kirikou Banzige, called Handwalk Tower. That event is the first event in that show to be a multi-stage obstacle course. Sasuke was created in 1997 and was a follow-up to Handwalk Tower. Originally, they were just going to do one event, but so many people wanted to sign up for it that they did a second one, and they did a third one, and up until I think the sixth broadcast, it was not its own broadcast. It was still a part of Banzuke. Eventually, though, in Sasuke 10, it became its own show, partially due to, I believe, the Power Island event incident, which I will not talk about right now. But eventually, on the 12th event, a competitor known as Nagano Makoto almost got total victory and almost became the second person to get total victory. So, for Sasuke 13, they redesigned everything. It had a different aesthetic and it had so many new obstacles. The first obstacle became the prism seesaw. The rolling log became the Sandan rolling Maruta, which had drops. And then for Sasuke 14, there was a proposed new color scheme, entirely new color scheme. It was going to be orange, but they kept it black. Eventually, on Sasuke 17, Nagano got total victory. And after that, this course was redesigned. But fun fact, it actually wasn't redesigned because of that. It was just coincidental timing. Higuchi, the guy who was behind Sasuke at the time, had a different show called Viking. Arguably a better show, by the way. That show ended. So, Sasuke 18 was basically the Viking graveyard. Many obstacles were from Viking. The spider flip came from Viking. The downhill jump, I believe, used the track from Castaway in Viking. Shoulder walk in Stage 2 is the opener to Vikings Stage 2, etc., etc. Then Sasuke 19 was interesting because they made it way harder. So hard, in fact, that only 2 people got to the second stage. One guy I don't remember, and a guy named Koji Yamada, which, fun fact, in the G4 Ninja Warrior broadcast, they incorrectly call him Yasushi Yamada, except for one time in a digest run during Sasuke 10. They were the only 2 people to make it to stage 2. But both of them failed on the salmon ladder. And because of that, it was the worst result tournament out of any of the tournaments. In Sasuke, there has never been another tournament where nobody got to the third stage. Because of that, one of the obstacles was unattempted and never came back, called the Skywalk, essentially a version of the cliffhanger, but for stage 2, and you're allowed to use your legs. It was used in one of the Sasuke trials and was extraordinarily easy. After Sasuke 19, things were still difficult, but they were toned down a bit. By the way, this era is known as Shin Sasuke. Shin, I believe, means new. Eventually, Sasuke 24 happened. During this tournament, a new person finally beat all 4 stages, Yuji Urushihara. He is a shoe salesman, and he is notable, and we will get back to him. Sasuke 26 is another one that was extraordinarily difficult, and has a very cool moment, where a man who was 63 at the time did better than most of the All-Stars, I believe. Shout out to Mr. Octopus, hell yeah. Sasuke 27 came around, and this was a very special tournament because Higuchi's company, Monster 9, was about to go bankrupt. So, to a lot of people, this was the last tournament. A lot of people thought that this was the last Sasuke tournament. And so because of that, a lot of cool stuff happened. It is the last time Makoto Nagano got to stage 3. It is the second time Yuji Urushihara got total victory, and he was the first person to do so. It was a good tournament. But Monster 9 went bankrupt. In fact, during the American Ninja Warrior, which at the time was not its own thing. It was a competition to get a group of people to go to Japan and be on Sasuke. They weren't super detailed, and they would basically say whoever wins this will compete on a real ninja course, because they weren't sure if there was going to be a Sasuke 27. And because of that, that's why they phrased it like that. However, there was a Sasuke 27, and the half pipe attack, an obstacle I personally like, is notable for severely giving a pretty bad injury to a competitor known as Drew Dreshel. This is actually a good thing, as Drew Dreshel is an awful piece of shit that is a child predator and is just an asshole in general. But that was not known at the time. Later on, I think 2014, 2013, something like that, Sasuke came back under new ownership. Instead of being owned by Ushio Higuchi, it was owned by Masato Inui. And he was the person behind Sasuke to this very day. And he actually did work with Higuchi for Banzuke and early Sasuke stuff. Eventually, in Sasuke 31, we got a new victor, Yusuke Morimoto. And in 38, he got a second victory, becoming the second person to get total victory. After that, he was basically the Makoto Nagano of the present day, doing very good on so many tournaments. And in fact, in the most recent tournament, Sasuke 43, he beat Makoto Nagano's record for having the most stage 4 attempts and nearly got a third total victory. And this show is awesome.